Mr. Monahan here for Province Stats. This is day 2 of chapter 5b. We're going to learn how to make dot plots. So the essential outcome, I will be able to make a dot plot and describe it using socks. So that's going to be the part that we'll go over that might be new. Dot plots is a pretty simple graph. We will look at that and go from there. Ignore the bell. So first thing, how do you find the middle number? So this is just median, right? So the median is exactly in the center of the data. Make sure that you have the numbers in order first. Otherwise, you won't be able to get the median correctly. Okay, but once you have them in order, it's just a matter of finding which one is exactly in the middle. Okay, this one has an odd amount of data. There's 9 pieces of data there. If you cut 9 in half, okay, you get 4.5. So that means that the 5th number is your median. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the median is 6. Okay, that is exactly halfway through the data. Notice how there's 4 numbers underneath and there's 4 numbers above. Okay, it's exactly in the middle. Second one, they just took one of the 6's out. Okay, so there's only 1 6 now. And now there's an even amount of data. If you take 8 and cut it in half, that's 4. That means that the median is between the 4th and 5th, okay, piece of data. So we're looking for between the 4th and the 5th. So that would be between the 3 and the 6 this time. Notice how, again, there's 4 numbers under this. There's 4 numbers above this. So what is the median then? The median is halfway between 3 and 6, which is the average of 3 and 6. So the median is 4.5. Okay, since we already did chapter 5b, that's review. All right, dot plots. So you can pause the video to write this down if you need more time. Dot plot, it's a visual representation of the distribution of data, just like box plots and pie charts from yesterday. Okay, we use a number line and we use some dots. It is the simplest graph to use with a quantitative variable. So this graph is different than the ones from yesterday because it graphs quantitative variables. It number answers. Okay, yesterday we did box plots and they were for like favorite food or favorite ice cream. Today we're going to have number answers. So bar graphs aren't for number answers. Pie charts aren't for number answers. But dot plot is one of the graphs you can use for that. Okay, I'm just going to give myself some more space here. So what we're going to do is make a dot plot based on the data that we see above. All right, this is about number of goals scored per game by the 2004 U.S. women's soccer team. So what we're going to do is if I see a 3, I'm going to cross that 3 off and I'm going to put a dot by 3. Okay, if I see another 3, I'm going to put a dot above it. Okay, same thing with this 3. Okay, I need to go through and I need to make a dot for each number here. So you can pause the video right now and do that. Okay, when you resume the video, you'll see my graph up here. So go ahead and pause right now. All right, check your dot plot with mine. Make sure that, you remembered to put this title on. Okay, make sure you realize that you need to put a title on. Okay, and then it's just making a dot for each piece of data, working your way all the way through. That's going to be kind of like step 1 today with these dot plots. Okay, moving on. What we're going to start to need to do is describe the overall pattern. So this part might not be in your note packet, okay, but when you see this in the directions, describe the overall pattern. That's asking you to do something specific. It's asking you to talk about 4 things. So if you see in the directions to describe the overall pattern, you have to talk about 4 things. The first is the shape. Then we talk about outliers. Then we talk about the center. And last, we talk spread. So it's kind of a 4-point question when you see describe the overall pattern. Okay? It is important. This is used for quantitative variables only. So you would not do socks on a bar graph. You would not do socks on a pie chart. Things that graph categorical variables, you would not use this for. All right, so what is shape? Shape, there's going to be 3 possible options. It's talking about what shape the graph takes. So you kind of try to trace and even out the graph. If a lot of your data is in the middle, or most of your data is in the middle, we call that symmetrical. We kind of say that it's even on both sides. Okay, so one of our options would be, is your data symmetrical? Okay, then we have skewed data. So the other two are skewed. If you kind of smooth this one out, we have a lot of data on the left, but then we have a tail out to the right. Maybe these are outliers. Okay, we call this skewed right. Okay, the tail is to the right. This one's just the opposite. So if I smooth this one out, I have a lot of data over here on the right, but then it kind of tails off to the left. Okay, this is skewed left because the tail is to the left. So for the first part of socks, you'll do shape, and you have three options for shape: symmetrical, skewed right, or skewed left. Outliers. Okay, outliers are individual data values that are outside of the pattern. So anything that doesn't seem to belong. In 5B, we talked about how to decide if something is an outlier. We were more specific. Okay, this one, we're just looking at the overall pattern of the data and saying, hey, that might be an outlier. So what I mean by that, okay, we have on this upper left graph, we have this pretty consistent curve, but we have this outlier over here. Okay, it's a data point that just doesn't fit with the rest. Okay, same thing. This graph down here is called a histogram on the lower left. We have a bunch of data in these areas here, but we have a potential outlier low. Okay, all of our data seems to be on the right except for that. And this is pretty hard to see on mine, but these outliers, remember on box plots, we would put them as a star, so we have some outliers on those box plots as well. So if it seems like it doesn't fit the pattern, it's an outlier. The center is just the median, okay? So the median is the middle number, so we're looking for the middle of the data, okay? So when we're doing that, we know how to find the median from last chapter, and it's the first example that we went over today. How do you find the middle number? So in this one, the dice roll one, it looks like most of our data is in this column right here. So maybe the median is at 7. Okay, there's a little bit more of a precise way to look at it. We could look at how many dots there are. We can cut that in half. So there should be 26 dots here in this one. So in the one about siblings. So if you cut 26 in half, you get 13. So if you find like the 13th and 14th dot, you can find what the middle is. So this is the first dot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here's the 13th dot. Here would be like the 14th dot. So we would be halfway in between those two. So this one would have a median of halfway between 1 and 2, which is 1.5. Okay? Same thing with this one. We can count how many dots there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. There's 30 there. So if you cut 30 in half, you find like the 15th dot and the 16th dot. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hang on, I might have done that wrong. We have 6 so far, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So our 15th and 16th dots are going to both be in this 90 range. So our median is going to be 90. Okay, so it's the middle number. Center, C stands for center, which is middle, median. Okay, and then spread. That one's not so bad. It's min to max. So the smallest number being 2, the biggest number being 12. For the one on the left, the spread is 2 to 12. Same thing with siblings. We have 0 to 6 because our smallest amount of siblings in our study was 0 and the biggest was 6. Okay, the spread of the scores is 70 to 100. The smallest number up to the biggest number. So let's try it one time. First thing I want you to do is part A. Make a dot plot of these numbers, and then from there we can figure out the socks. So first make the graph, then we'll talk about socks. Why don't you pause the video and we will talk about it when you click play. So pause it, make the dot plot, and then click play. We'll do socks. All right, so you should see a pretty good graph of dot plot of the data for goals that happened in the playoffs. Okay, so that was part A. Part B is going to be talking about socks. The first S stands for shape. Okay, this one is not a symmetric one, okay, because not all the data seems to be in the center. Oops, I messed up a little bit on that part. Okay, let's try that again. So if you kind of smooth it out, you see that we have this skew. Okay, the question is if it's right or left. This one is right because the tail is to the right. Okay, the O stands for outliers. Okay, 7 is the number that's furthest away from the rest of them. So we could potentially say that 7 is an outlier. What we're going to say is we're going to kind of use soft language. We're going to say maybe it's an outlier. It's a potential or a possible outlier. We're not going to say it is for sure, but it could be. Okay? Then we have center, okay, which is the median. Okay? So there's 28 total 28 dots here. Okay? If there's 28 dots, we cut that in half. We find the 14th dot and the 15th dot. So we start from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 in this column. So 12, 13. This is the 14th and 15th dot right here. Okay? They're both in the one goal column. Okay? So the median would be one goal. That was the median goal. That's the center of all the goals we scored. Okay? Then the spread is just the minimum, the smallest amount of goals to the largest amount of goals, so 0 to 7 goals. That's how you do socks. Okay? Shape, outliers, center, and spread. And that's going to be it for today for this video. So you're going to be able to go ahead and try the homework here, just one page today. But just a quick review. Dot plots are for numerical data. You wouldn't use a dot plot for favorite color. Okay, don't do socks for categorical data. So no socks for bar graphs, no socks for pie charts. Write about socks if you need to describe the overall pattern. Okay, so anytime it says describe the overall pattern, that's telling you to talk about socks. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.